as adults. And even in the European Bronze Age, it seems that this lactase persistence gene is only at about 5 to 10% of the population. So really, it's actually, although today nearly everybody in Europe has this ability to digest milk as adult, it actually seems to be a relatively recent genetic adaptation that we've developed.
Dr. Sophie Charlton from the University of York. As we heard on yesterday's programme, a new report compiled by leaders in politics, business and science is calling for governments to spend $1.8 trillion over 10 years to adapt to climate change. It recommends strategies such as early warning systems and water management. Well, one way of achieving that in the UK is by conserving the nation's peat bogs, which lock away almost 2 million tonnes of carbon every year. Victoria Gill reports now from a nature reserve in Scotland managed by the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, or the RSPB.
It's quite a breezy, grey day, just to blow the cobwebs away, and I am on Aird's Moss, which is about 40 miles south of Glasgow. It's a peat bog and part of an RSPB reserve. It's a very bleak site, but really quite a beautiful open landscape. The RSPB has been working here for a number of years to restore this to its natural, wet, boggy state, and that is for a very particular reason.
If you look closely on the ground, it really is a little rainforest, because that's where you find the huge variety of bog plant community of varying colours and hues.
Clive Walton is an ecologist who works with the RSPB, and he's involved in this restoration project. As well as rebuilding this peatland habitat, the aim is to enhance the landscape's ability to remove and lock away carbon from the atmosphere. Clive demonstrates this with a peat probe. So what are we seeing here? This is re-wetting?
Yes, it is, absolutely. So the water course was previously draining and eroding the peat on the bog. Now we put in these peat dams. The water's backed up behind the dams and spread out onto the previously dry area, and you can see it's deep peat. It's deep peat which now has sphagnum moss growing in it. It's now wet, so not only is it protecting the peat that was there, it's now actually sequestrated carbon from the atmosphere and forming these peat floats. In fact, now an active peat float.
So how deep is that probe then?
Well, the probe is just over 2 metres. It could go a couple of metres more than that, possibly.
Layers of locked away
Through carbon.
According to the conservation charity WWF, 80% of the UK's peatlands aren't in the healthy state that Aird's Moss has been restored to, and that means they can no longer lock carbon away.
Over thousands of years, actually, of last glaciation, this landscape has been storing carbon.
Professor Susan Waldron is an environmental scientist from the University of Glasgow. Her work focuses on understanding the carbon value of landscapes.
So peatlands are very important for carbon storage. They are the soil cover on the land surface that is most organic rich, so it's got the highest carbon content that we have, and therefore they play an important role in storing carbon on the land surface.
And as we plan for the future and try and lock away more of that carbon, keep it out of the atmosphere, how do these landscapes need to be treated to get the best out of them?
Okay, I think they need to be treated with a lot of respect. So there are two components here. The first thing is that we don't want to lose the carbon that's been stored unless there's a really good reason why. So we don't want to degrade the landscapes unnecessarily. And the second thing is that we want to ensure that the carbon sequestration capacity, so the ability to trap carbon, is as good as possible. And therefore we don't want to degrade them, we want to enhance and perhaps restore sites that aren't storing carbon very well, so that we do so more efficiently in the future.
In these rich, waterlogged habitats, though, you do have to watch where you put your feet.
The BBC's Victoria Gill getting her feet wet in the line of duty and reporting for us from Scotland. That brings us to an end of this edition of News Hour. From me, James Kamarasamy, and the rest of the team here in London, thanks very much for listening. Goodbye.
If you've missed the drama and rivalries of Downton Abbey, Downton Digest is for you. Each week leading up to the film premiere in September, we'll summarize the season with extras. Sign up at whyy.org/Downton Digest.
Supporting WHYY Road Scholar, a nonprofit educational travel organization for adults. You can join them to hear from civil rights heroes and historians in the city where the movement was born. Learn more at roadscholar.org/heroes.
Just ahead at 10:04, is the death penalty constitutional? The Pennsylvania Supreme Court takes on that question today, and Radio Times is coming up, so stay tuned.
This is WHYY-FM Philadelphia, WNJN-FM 89.7 Atlantic City, WNJZ 90.3 Cape May Courthouse, WNJB-FM 89.3 Bridgeton, WNJM 89.9 Manahawkin, and WNJS-FM 88.1 Berlin.
It's 10 o'clock. From WHYY in Philadelphia, this is Radio Time. I'm Harry Cummings Jordan. This hour, a look at the dangers associated with vaping. Hundreds of cases of lung illnesses connected to vaping have been documented recently, including nearly a half dozen deaths. Vaping is popular among many teens and young adults, and the FDA is now targeting the #1 manufacturer of e-cigarettes, Juul. Begin the hour with an update from Lena Sun, health reporter with the Washington Post. Then we'll hear from Frank Leone, director of psychiatry at Yale. Talk about the appeal of e-cigarettes, the addictive nature of vaping, and the potential danger posed by ingredients in vaping formulas. As always, we'll open up the phones for your questions and comments. If you vape, what do you think? It's Radio Times, just ahead on WHYY after the news. Live from NPR News in Washington. seemingly exploded in the past few years, especially with the advent of the Juul e-cigarette in 2017. There are numerous makes and models from different manufacturers in varying shapes, sizes, and colors, along with an array of vaping liquids. But since the beginning, there have been questions about the safety of inhaling vapors from fluids which might contain ingredients such as nicotine, heavy metals, or cannabis compounds, and the marketing of vaping devices which seems to target young people. Now there's news that hundreds of people, and adults, have been hospitalized with severe lung disease linked to vaping, some with tragic consequences. 6 have died. So this hour we'll get the latest on the controversy surrounding e-cigarettes and vaping devices, and we'd like you to weigh in as well. Do you vape or know someone who does? And what is your reaction to the latest news about vaping? Here's the number, 888-477-9499. You can send an email to radiotimes@whyy.org or tweet us at WHYY Radio Times. Joining us to get started is Lena Sun, a health reporter who's been covering this story for the Washington Post. Good to have you with us, Lena.
Nice to be here.
So this summer we have seen literally hundreds of mysterious lung ailments across the country, and health officials say they believe, Lena, these cases are tied to vaping.
Yes, that is the one thing that they know. There are a lot of things they don't know, but the one thing that they do know is that every person who has gotten sick has used some kind of device to vape aerosol, and that turns into clouds, and people have inhaled it. They don't know whether it's from nicotine products or from marijuana products.